Coach Andrews is going to make an opening statement, and we'll take the questions.
Okay. Well, I'm very proud of our football team. It was a game that was, close. And, both teams fought hard. I thought New Orleans did a great job with their game plan coming in. I just really proud of our guys because the only, they know that outside of our locker room, that's it as far as anybody believing in them. They believe in themselves, and we have a coaching staff that believes in them, and they set some goals to get better. And the thing about this was a good win for us. We met some different landmarks that we hadn't reached in the past, and but it's not indicative yet of how good I think this team can be. So we're still nose to the grindstone, and we have the objective to get better again, and we've got to score touchdowns on offense. We had 3 called back today. That's been something that 2 weeks in a row without an offensive touchdown, but we got a touchdown on defense, and that was the first in 16 games of the new USFL Philadelphia Stars. First touchdown on defense, 16 games. So very proud of our defense. We're happy and looking forward to relaxing tonight, and then we get back to work. We have a short week and get ready for Pittsburgh.
Coach, a couple of weeks ago, the running game was really struggling, especially the offensive line, the running backs not getting into a rhythm. Today, 124 yards combined, averaging 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
What did you guys see out there, and was that the scheme heading into this game?
Well, we're still running pretty much the same scheme. That doesn't change. How we're doing it is much better than it's been. So, it's the technique that in getting to know the scheme better. We've had some movement on our offensive line. We have a couple new guys, which which is always going to be the case. You're always going to have that movement, whether it's because of injury or whether it's because, hey, we feel like there's a better player out there. But I think it goes to me. It goes back with this team and to persistence. They just keep working at getting better, and it's slower than we would like as coaches. Obviously, I don't think there's a coach alive that doesn't feel like you're improving fast enough. But we're slowly getting to where, like I said, where I think we can be. And I don't think we're there yet, but we're better than we were last week, and that's what's important. So.
What did you think was kind of a big turning point today in your game?
When the clock went to 0 at the end of the fourth quarter, really, I mean, it was like we couldn't. You just can't rest until it's over. I mean. It was still a 1-score game at the end of the game, and we took the time down as much as we could at the end there and tried to kick a field goal. And Luis is like, he's he's all world. I mean, and he hit the goalpost. I mean, it's like and that would have put us up by 9, which is still in this league not enough. So yeah, when the clock went to 0 in the fourth quarter, that was the turning point. We turned and went back to the locker room. It was so. Yeah.
Coach, obviously New Orleans boasts one of the best offenses in this league.
Yeah.
They've been phenomenal through the first few weeks, but holding them to only 10 points, so many defensive stops throughout the game that obviously won you the game. What can you say about the effort that your defense?
I mean, that was the best game we've played on defense by far, and we're again, it's guys learning the scheme, getting their assignments down pat, and then believing in moving forward. And that's like each week we've gotten better, and it's that's like I said, I don't think that we're where we could be yet, And the best thing about that is that our team feels the same way.
And to follow it up, Amani, your coach just said that
Recording stopped.
your pick six was the first defensive touchdown for the Philadelphia Stars ever since the USFL came back. What can you take me through that play and kind of what it meant to you and the team, and just break it down for me?
Yeah, so we were in one. He had a nasty split, so I played outside of him. Ran a corner stop. I knew that from watching film. I sat on it, and he threw it to me. Took it to the crib, and yeah, it felt good to celebrate with my teammates most of all, cause that's what I work for. So I love my guys. So felt good.
I'll translate that. We were in man-to-man coverage. Okay. Right?
Yeah, man to man.
Start with man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, he ran a curl.
He ran an in cutting route, and he stepped in front of it and took it to the end zone for a touchdown. Yeah. Oh, I forgot the nasty split. That meant that the receiver was closer to the tackle.
Case, some ups and downs on offense today.
Yep.
And what do you think that you and the offense can do to keep getting better? I think one of you said it last week. It's always good to look to improve after a win, loss. But
Yep.
you see
Yeah.
better this week?
Yeah, absolutely right. You finish the game with a win, but I think offensively we're sitting there and we have this kind of gross taste in our mouth still because we feel like we're so close to being really good and making this game, 2-3 score game, and making it easier for the defense. So penalties, that's something that's just a mental thing. Where we have two times where we're in the end zone, two runs and a pass or two where we're getting big chunks in the red zone and then moving ourselves back, kind of shooting ourselves in the foot, and that just it comes to mental mistakes, and it includes myself. I can't make mistakes, can't turn the ball over a couple times like we did today, but I think it really comes down to the little things, and I think we have a lot of returning guys, and sometimes you got to remind them, hey, we just if you got a hitch, you just run a hitch. Don't worry about the rest of this or that. What if this happens? What happens? If you got the hitch, you got to run the hitch. So across the board, really proud of the team for battling. I think that's a really good football team, and it was awesome to see the defense fly around, making plays. Looks like they were struggling a little bit and keep the energy up. But I think what's awesome, what we did again on offense this week is we drove the ball down the field while backed up. We had the ball a couple times backed up on our 20-yard line, and we drove the entire field. And I think if we can build off that, the touchdowns and the bigger scores are going to come.
Over the past couple weeks, you've had offensive linemen in and out. Are you starting to feel like the group's coming together? Are you starting to feel some more cohesion?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you get, a couple weeks of a training camp, and then you get injuries, it's going to take time for those guys to build kind of the communication, their repertoire between themselves, their calls, all this stuff, that little code words that, we go to, I'll make them dinner every week, really because it's just, you want to be together and talk to each other and get to know each other because, the season starts like that. So it's awesome to see them get better and better each week.
Case, I think it was in the third quarter, a couple of those turnovers.
Mhm.
Could you walk me through the play where you were kind of running out of bounds and then ended up flipping it and
Yeah.
ended up in New Orleans? Was that a miscommunication?
No.
Was that just randomly happen?
No, not miscommunication. It's a classic case of me just trying to do too much. I think they stretched out the play. They did a good job covering it. As I was spinning, I was trying to flick it out of bounds. I did not flick it out of bounds. I flicked it towards Terry because he flashed, and of course, he wasn't looking, and the DB was looking, and he made a great play on it. Was able to keep his feet in. It was one of those things where that can't happen, and I got to learn from that, and I got to be hard on myself and really think about some of these turnovers of how they're happening. But again, I go back to the defense was able to not give up a score there. You could say the ball doesn't lie. They missed the field goal, so maybe his foot was out. But no, it's one of those things where you just got to look to your teammates when you make a mistake because they got my back, and I'm really, really across the board proud of how our team rallied around that today.
What do you plan on cooking for your team later this week to
I made pulled pork sandwiches last week with a little coleslaw and beans. That was good, but I don't know. I'm running out of meals because I have a smaller kitchen this year. But I'll keep you. I think maybe some pot roast or something with some mashed potatoes. But we'll see. It's getting summertime, so I'm gonna have to go a little lighter. I can't. Yeah.
Any other questions? All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how dangerous it is to live dangerously.
Sorry, Oscar, I didn't